All right, China's social credit system. I wanted to cover this the other week, but that show went a little long. I had carry on. Whatever. I bumped it to this week. This is huge news. Obviously, this was in implementation, I believe, last year it started. But this is like the ultimate control, ultimate Orwellian state. It's not so much about what you make anymore. It's about what is your social credit. So let's play this clip, and then I want to break this down here for you. This is by CBC, the Canadian Public Broadcast.
And it's not just the Uyghurs. China is using technology to monitor all of its people, harnessing the state's surveillance arsenal in a new program called Social Credit. China is home to 1.3 billion people, and their president, Xi Jinping, says the country's new social credit system keeps his people safe and makes their lives easier. Xi has ordered cameras plastered across China, leaving no dark corners, and plans to monitor every move by every citizen. He's introduced a nationwide program which scores everyone based on their purchases, lifestyle choices, and habits. It's like adding your Facebook data to your credit score, only with far more serious consequences. Check out this report on how it works by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation.
Our goal is to ensure that if people... Let me rewind that. Oh, I gotta turn it down. It's way too loud for you guys to overhear that.
Australian Broadcasting Corporation.
Our goal is to ensure that if people keep their promises, they can go anywhere in the world. And if people break their promises, they won't be able to move an inch.
The system uses facial recognition software to constantly scan and record China's 200 million closed-circuit cameras, all connected on a single grid. Then it pairs this information to your online habits, from what you buy to the sites you visit, even what you say on social media. All of this information is then wrapped together into your new social credit score. Do something the Communist Party approves of, like buying Chinese products or commit a heroic act, and your score goes up. But do something the party frowns upon, like jaywalking, not paying your mortgage on time, or being politically outspoken, and your score will drop.
Leo Hu recently tried...
Yeah, you want to talk about Orwellian state. You know, how does it affect the reporters? They're going to get into this reporter guy. That's crazy. You can't even do your job.
Book a flight, he was told he was banned from flying because he's on the list of untrustworthy people. Leo is a journalist who was ordered by a court to apologize for a series of tweets he wrote and was then told his apology was insincere.
Overnight, Leo went from investigative journalist to digital dissident. He can't book flights or trains. He's banned from social media. And his friends and family have lost social credit points too. Leo has become a digital prisoner and what some people are calling the world's first digital dictatorship.
No.
Joining me once.
There it is, folks. Total control, digital dictatorship. I mean, you want to talk about Orwellian. What a way to control people. So I was watching a Vice News one as well. So in this particular city, Dahu Ta Zai, there was an information collector. She was retired. She did her thing. Now she's just trying to keep busy. They give her $50 a month, and she's basically paid to watch and record neighbors. And that was in 2015, that social credit score system started. So that was going for a little while now. Now, what I've noticed is there's many different systems of these in China, the cities. They have different point systems. Some of them have 200 points. Some have, 300, 500. There's this one on this Vice report started with 1,000. So you start with 1,000 points. If there's any bad, if you do anything bad that could be like jaywalking, like she said in the report, any of that stuff, the stuff they don't agree with, you'll get deducted. And then, what are the repercussions of that? You can't travel, you can't buy. It's kind of just like getting a microchip. And if you're good, but you have to be spotted being good, so you have to be on camera doing a good deed, then your credit score goes up. This reminds me of, if anybody watched that Seinfeld episode with George Costanza, and there's that tip jar that you throw your change in after you buy your sandwich. I think he was either buying gyros or something. But anyway, he paid for it. He was going to be nice, put the change in there, but the person running the shop turned his back, and when he turned his back, he didn't see George put the change in there. So George is like, well, it's as good as useless because it's like I didn't even do it. So he digs his hand back in the jar to take that money out, and then he gets caught taking the money, and then, you know, it's blown the wrong way. But that's kind of like what this would be. I mean, you want to get spotted doing something good, so you're like, oh, here's some money. I hope you saw it. So that then if you raise your score, you get discount on utilities, lower interest loans, the whole shabam. And this one particular Vice news clip, the guy slipped between below to 950, and he couldn't even get a plane ticket and stuff like that. No loans. This really makes me think about how dating is going to work with this.
Correct.
Because no longer are women going to be looking at the guy's income.
Yeah.
They're going to be looking at his social credit score as well. So you gotta have two things there to keep yourself up. But anyway, on the dating apps on the website, they give people with high social credit score a boost. But dating sites are just a big joke.
Yes, yes.
If you ask me. So how does this affect somebody like introverts? I'm more introverted. You know, you might not know it watching this show, but I'm that way. And granted, you could still do other good deeds and stuff, but, you know, how is it going to affect people that are, you know, not so much extroverted and they're kind of more to themselves? They're going to lose credit score system points because they're not participating in community events and stuff like that? That's something to really think about. And on this Vice clip show, Vice News, I'm not showing the clip, by the way, folks, because I just have a feeling Vice would claim copyrights. But a man co-signed it for a loan. The guy in the video paid his half, but the other party skipped out. So think about that. The guy did his part, paid his half of the loan. The other guy skipped out. But the local court did not care. So he could the coach class train tickets were sold out. He could not buy a first class ticket because his score was too low. And a train ride typically takes 3 to 4 hours for him to get home, but he had to take the bus back home, which takes 10 plus hours, just because his buddy defaulted or didn't pay his half on that loan. So total control. Couldn't imagine living under something like that. So in the video, he tried to raise his score. He gave money to charity. And an interesting thing in that video as well, he didn't know where the charity money was going. He didn't even ask. He didn't care. He just wanted to get his score raised. He donated blood. He did volunteer work. And the really wicked thing for that is he said, I am finally a normal person. Think about that.
Yeah.
I am finally a normal person because of this system. And you could think like, oh, this could be, I could see it being used for good to help people, but wow, talk about a total Orwellian nightmare.